Hookie's whole retreat may be closed. G'day everyone and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft and Camping Adventures, and unfortunately it's a sad day today. It's an admittance of defeat. It's reality check time, and it's a realization, or we already knew it, but that at the end of the day, nature's always going to win. You guys who've been watching this channel for a while will know that I've been working on a base camp for this very location, and it looks a little bit something like that. We've had one of the wettest summers I've ever known in Sydney. It's been non-stop raining, it's been floods, you name it. It's barely had a week without a decent amount of rainfall. And during that time, we've also had lockdowns where I couldn't come out. And then we had Freya, a new baby, who's 7 months old now and going great. And so obviously due to, dad, husband duties, those two factors, or those three factors combined, has made me have to admit defeat on this shelter. Let's take a walk over and see what I'm talking about. It's really disappointing. It's put a lot of effort and a lot of bloody time into this place. From your perspective, the floor looks okay, but every single one of the actual floorboards are rotting really badly. Not really badly, but to a point where they're no longer tenable for use in a shelter. The rain has won. The conditions have won. There's types of fungi growing on there. Some of the boards themselves are just ready to break under my weight. And due to the conditions of them, I just don't think I can go forward with this shelter anymore. It's something that I've been tossing up for a long time. Maybe this place is just cursed, because this shelter, I feel like it never really got off the ground. I mean, from the outsider, that looks like pretty nice progress, right? But it's just not. So let's flip the camera around and let's have a look at what I'm talking about. So I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but they're all greasy. As I say, there's been all sorts of strange fungus growing on these things. And it's just, the wetness has just rendered a good, 2/3 of these branches, no good. Look, you got, see, listen to that, that's going to crack. If I put I don't even want to put my weight in case my leg gets stuck in there, but if I put all my weight in that, that's not spring, that's rot. That never used to be like that. I'm not sure if it's coming up on camera, but these, everything just feels bendy underfoot. It's just not what you want. As I say, from your perspective it looks okay, but it just really isn't. So that leaves me with a dilemma. What do I do now? Do I have to abandon this campsite altogether? I could repurpose some of these materials and use them in something else. I even put together a few sketches as to what I can do with this place. I was contemplating removing the floor altogether and repurposing these logs, these branches, in a vertical fashion, building a raised bed down the side, and then basically using some kind of tarp slash, bushcrafty wall thing. But I don't know, I feel like this shelter has never done exactly what I want it to do, and maybe it's just time to abandon it and move on to something else. I love this location. It's always going to be a location that I visit, but maybe it's time to get on the horse again and try and find somewhere else. I'm undecided as to whether this becomes a little holiday home that I visit every now and then, or if I still keep coming here regularly and I do something else, or if I just don't build a bushcraft shelter and just do some other cool items around the place, for camp life and when the boys come out and all that kind of thing. I don't know. I really don't know. This site, it's got a nice table, it's got a good campfire, It's got a nice little table there as well. Like there's a lot of good things about this site. As it stands right now, I don't believe I'm going to abandon it completely. But you never know what's next. You never know what I might find. You never know what's around the corner. That's the wonderful thing about life. So I'm not going to see this as a defeat, even though I've admitted defeat on this shelter. I'm going to see it as an opportunity to start something new. Learn what I've... what I've learned from this build and apply it to the next build. And what will the next build be? God only knows. And even then, I'm not so sure. Just not sure what to do next. I mean, I've been tied down to this place for quite a long time. Maybe it's time not to build something for a while. Maybe it's time to just go camp out in some pretty cool locations. Maybe I'll just do that. Not sure. It'd be a shame because I really like that fire pit and I barely had a chance to use it. However, I do have some more clay lying around the house and I do have another project in mind, which I might do either here or somewhere else. Time will tell. But anyway, before I go, that's not the only bit of news that I need to report. I'm going to change the way I do this channel. I've been thinking about this long and hard. Like, I've genuinely been thinking about this, contemplating the way I do what I do. For those that don't know, I have a second channel called Paranormal and Cryptid Adventures. And essentially at this point in its evolution, it's me going out and doing my Yowie research. I'm very big on all that. It may develop into something else in the future, but for now, it's my Yowie channel. And generally when I come out to do a camping trip, I generally film for both channels. So as I'm out here, I'll be flicking over in my brain between, okay, this is Bushcraft and Camping Adventures content, this is Paranormal and Cryptid Adventures content, and I keep myself super busy and end up filming about 4 videos every trip, 2 for each channel. And whilst that works, it's good for content and it's good for regularity on all channels, I've come to the realization that it's actually making me focus on neither of them. By splitting my time and dedicating my time out here to 2 channels, I'm giving half the attention to each of those channels, and I think it's impacting the content. Especially with my Paranormal Yowie content, I really need to dedicate entire days to going on the long walks. I really need to dedicate time to do the energy work and all the things that need to be done. And sometimes you run out of time because you're doing a build or you're doing this or you're doing that. So from now on, until further notice, until basically if it fails and it doesn't work, I'll change it if it doesn't work. But for the time being, I'm going to introduce seasons. So there will be Bushcraft and Camping Adventures seasons, where everything I do is focused around bushcraft and camping. I don't do any Yowie stuff unless I happen to come across a circumstance or a scenario that, you know, ticks the Yowie box, then I'll obviously do it. But my intentions will be purely bushcraft and camping. Drive out the Yowie stuff, put on the back burner. And then I'll have Yowie season. And during those trips, I will be purely focusing on Yowie stuff. No building, no bushcraft, just purely research. Because it's a full-time job, both of these things. Coming out and doing both of these things is a full-time gig when you're out on a campsite. And trying to dedicate half of my time to each of them, it's just not working. So I've just released a whole bunch of Bushcraft and Camping Adventures content that I've been building up over the past few months. And so accordingly, this is the official start of Yowie season. Yowie season is upon us. It's still going to be me. It's still going to be the same kind of content. Generally speaking, I put a little bit more production values into the Yowie stuff. It's a little bit less raw. But that's what I'm going to be doing for the next few months. Now, I don't know if the season's going to last for 3 months. Remember, I only get to go out with the kids and everything once a month. It's torturously small amount of camping. So a 3-month season will only mean 3 trips, which max will be like 5 or 6 videos. So I haven't tossed up whether I do 3-month, 6-month seasons. I'm not sure yet. Time will tell. And, you know, look, I still put a lot of time into YouTube. So response from people watching will also have a big influence on what I do. But from this point going forward, I will have a seasoned approach. Welcome to Yowie season. And that's all I've got to say about that. I hope it works and I hope it breeds more success across both channels. So that's that. That's this short, sharp video done. Thanks for watching. If you've got any ideas, whack them in the comments. And I will see you guys real soon. Bye for now.